Paul, I want to take this out a bit further into the macro. Everyone thinks that a CISO's job is stopping hackers, stopping bad actors. But what does the job of a CISO actually feel like day to day now that they're responsible for protecting infrastructure, customer trust, data, governance? What does that look like today?
So most of my days are spent on Teams calls with one group or another. Where we are literally looking at our reports and getting updates from third shift review every single morning. And then a lot of my day is the business of security. So I can't operate as an island. I try and be draconian, but other leaders laugh at me. So how many new systems are getting rolled out across any ecosystem? How does it affect this? What are our certs aligned to this? How does the product groups work with what we're trying to develop? Because my team develops much faster than a normal product life cycle. So how do we not step on each other's toes? And we do during enhancements and things that we have an advantage because to your point is patient zero for my security stack. So we can write protections and make changes that makes sense to us from an internal standpoint, but does it make sense from a commercial standpoint? And by the way, does accounting sign off on it? And how many new tools? There's so much VC money getting thrown into new security startups. I get inundated with just give me 30 minutes. It's new and breathtaking. You've never seen anything like it. It uses artificial intelligence. Great. So there's a lot of balance in those layers. And quite honestly, some of the calls, some of the LinkedIn requests that I get that are intriguing, some of them have really cool stuff. And they're going to get gobbled up by the big companies very quickly because they have IP that makes sense. So we try and incorporate that IP and we're looking for companies that we may acquire that would fill a gap or shortcut development, et cetera. But so much of my day is managing other groups who they get compensated based on what are they rolling out? New and innovative features, better ways to do accounting and billing, and better ways to track customer spend and potential customer churn. And how do we stay ahead of these things? And they all want AI to make their lives easier and to do predictive analysis for their job functions. So how do we help corral that? And how do we obfuscate data so that we don't have a rep putting in tier point financials everywhere in an effort to have the AI spit back a talking point or slides into commercial models. So blocking commercial models and moving them to separate segregated models that make sense across our stack. It's a lot of non-value added work to the security stack that I run. But at the same time, my first and foremost job is, as you mentioned, it's to keep tier point out of the paper to the best of my ability. So you have to try and manage that. And I really wish I could have every single LinkedIn, sales rep. I'd love to give them all a half hour and see what makes them cool. And when you go to Black Hat, it might as well be called AI Hat because that's anybody is talking about that.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So it is a balance and what makes sense. And by the way, I don't know any company who on May 5th says, "Oh, I do have 400,000 of unspent budget that hasn't been allocated anywhere. I'd love to just buy your stuff tomorrow." So there's also timing of, we start our budget process in October and we get them in the lab in November. So I can, look at logically, how can I put this forth in a logical budget that makes sense, doesn't get me laughed at, and I have real talking points about how does this make us safer, either as an infrastructure, a critical infrastructure provider, or how does it make the product stack better in order to keep up in the marketplace?
Quickly, I want to just add on to this because you alluded to it. How do you make the security team not the department of no?
No, I have one VP who is the department of no. He lives it.
He owns it.
He does. I can't even type, let's have a chat and we'll discuss this before his response pops up. No way. Don't ask. Go away. So it is. And it is a balance because security historically is not a profit center. I'm a cost center and I know it. And I'm okay with it. I know where I fit in a corporate infrastructure and I know where I fit. I ask for money and I'm selling an insurance policy. I'm buying things and giving you something that I hope we never have to use. And it's very difficult to walk into a very well-educated board of directors and a very well-educated CEO who's on his 20th company grown and sailed now and say, you got to believe me. Well, what's my return on investment? There's no return on this investment except an insurance return that this will help keep us out of the newspaper. So no return on investment, zero, like literally zero. I'm not going to sell it, but it makes us stronger in the marketplace. And so I've earned, and most seasoned CISOs have earned some level of seat at the table in order to have those logical. And I get told no about 50% of the time, but it's the 50% of the yes. And I know how to choose my battles now, that you go in and you build a business model and you go through business development, and if they sign off on it, then I'm usually pretty safe to go into that budget review and know that at least I have a fighting chance.